Oh, heidi ho there again. Nick, head coach of the Psyducks, doing another commentary for another match that I was not part of. This one is between Greg of the Viridian City Volcaronas and Ian of the Mahogany Town Mews, who I fight next week. I'm coming for yo bitch ass. So, this, I think, should be a pretty even matchup. I know Greg's kind of had a rough season, but I know last season he was a pretty tough contender. So, this should be an exciting match to watch. We got Hooligan facing off against There Is No God. So not the best matchup for Hooligan. He does not like that 4 times damage from poison attacks. And he's at a -1 from that Intimidate. So understandably, Hooligan is going to leave because that is a very, very, very bad matchup for him. Dastardly does come onto the field. This is a nicer matchup for there. Yeah, easy poison jab for Ian. You really don't want to... Ooh, and gets the poison. You really don't want to lose a Pokemon first turn if you don't have to. And There Is No God can be kind of threatening. Its stats, when you look at them, aren't all that horrible, but... Ooh, Taunt. Stop the Spider Web. Very nice. Or Sticky Web. But it's got Swift Swim, it's got Intimidate. It's a formidable enemy. Because it's scary. It can do a whole lot of damage that you really don't want to take. And Double AJ comes in. And I believe this is a Zapdos from some point earlier in the season that Ian decided to bring back, and I think it has the wrong hidden power on it. I think that's what he was saying. He was yelling at Mike in the chat. And King K. Rulodile comes in against that Muck. Understandably, Intimidate drops at attack. And the knockoff comes out. I mean, that thing throws out knockoffs all day. They do nice damage. And it gets rid of items. But Rulodile does get healed by the terrain, and Meltilda does want to leave because an Earthquake from him is very scary. Billows comes out to get another, or no, not another, to get an attack drop off. And yeah, block that Earthquake because it doesn't do nothing to flying types. Cloud Kitty stops the Earthquakes. He resisted Earthquakes, so Meltilda maybe could have survived, but really couldn't have done too much in return. So Rulodile leaves. Double AJ comes in. Yeah, you got Stealth Rock setting up, and he can just clear those. And if he were to have had Hidden Power Ice, he could definitely scare out the Billows, but doesn't do much. And then he comes back with his own Hidden Power, which I presume is also hidden, or is actually Hidden Power Ice. So definitely a bad matchup for Double AJ. Heat Wave is avoided, that's unfortunate, and he's going to take another Hidden Power Ice. Or Hidden Power Electric, maybe, I'm not sure. Hidden Power is something that's super effective. But special attacks on Landorus Therian is not too uncommon. I know I saw it in some VGC stuff. He can get the job done. And then we've got another Hidden Power. And this hits for normal damage, so... yeah, probably Hidden Power Ice. And Double AJ is going to use that Heat Wave again. I'm assuming he's hoping for that burn, well, like 10% chance, and also does a lot better damage than the Hidden Power. But still not a winning fight for Double AJ unless he can get a burn to counteract the leftovers on Landorus. And he roosts again, because, I mean, that's the only way he stays alive in this face-off. And then he'll take... Ooh. Ooh. That was a good call. Greg with the huge Earthquake predict there, which is almost enough to kill the Zapdos. So now that the Earthquake has shown, Double AJ is very afraid. And he just goes for the attack, which is avoided, but the Earthquake also does not get used. So they're pretty much in a war right now. For Double AJ, can you try and heal and outpredict the Earthquake, or can you just keep using Heat Wave? And then he goes for another Earthquake. I think at this point he probably should have just switched already to the Hidden Power. And it does go for the Roost, and I believe he actually did go for the Hidden Power, which he probably should have gone for like 2 turns ago. Yep, he does go for the Hidden Power, which will do some normal damage, but still solid damage. But now the Zapdos can take at least 2 more Hidden Powers. And another avoided one. Oof. So that turn did a whole lot of nothing except give Billow some more health. That is most unfortunate. And AJ does go for the Roost again. Bit of a risky play in the face of the Earthquaking Landorus. But Landorus does get the other Earthquake. Will this one pick up the KO? I think it might. And yes, it is enough. So a not nice encounter for that Zapdos to end up in. I think if he had had Hidden Power Ice, it would have ended much sooner, but that's what happens when you don't check your sets. Squishy comes in, which this is plenty to threaten that Landorus. So Landorus will leave, because he doesn't want to take a Hydro Pump. Meltilda, though, really doesn't give two shits about Hydro Pumps. Or Surf, I guess. I guess Surf makes more sense. Consistent damage, don't have to worry about it missing. And really doesn't do too much because Meltilda is a very good special wall, surprisingly. And Justice Goat comes in, the purveyor of great justice. The Poison Jab, which he is immune to because he's Steel type. So, very unfortunate for the Muck. Meltilda leaves because it doesn't want to take an Earthquake. Dastardly comes in because it can take Steel, Earthquake, it can take a whole lot of stuff. But he does set up Stealth Rocks. And Dastardly takes some poison damage, is now below half, so is in KO range from a strong physical attack. Volt Switch, a special attack, does some solid damage. Not really enough because he's a good special wall. But with Poison and K-Rule-A-Dial, ooh, this may not have been the best choice. Stealth Rocks damage, and if he had gone for Liquidation, that could very much, actually with the Intimidate, ooh, he does get the Sticky Web up. That's what he was going for. That makes sense. It's kind of what this thing does. So Sticky Web is up. He's pretty much dead now. If he stays in, he dies from poison or an attack. Or if he tries to switch, he got a Pursuit. It is enough. Dastardly is dead. So if Ian can clear the Stealth Rocks and the Sticky Web, there's no more Sticky Web that can come out from the Volcaronas. So yeah, Earthquakes are now resisted, but he does pack a Sludge Bomb, which does solid damage. Even not that much though. Even with 4 times damage, it really doesn't do much. And yeah, that Wood Hammer turns around and gets a big old fat KO on him. But he does take a whole lot of recoil damage. So he is very easily in KO range of There Is No God, especially with that -1 attack. Bulu really doesn't have much it can do here except for run away, I believe. Yeah, Intimidate. He's not in an advantageous situation, but he does Horn Leech, I guess. That did solid damage, but I don't know if it'll be enough to keep him alive from a Poison Jab. Oh, no, Liquidation. I'm guessing he was assuming a switch was coming, which, I mean, isn't very surprising. Hooligan really wouldn't want to stay in, but I think unless he starts throwing down Poison Jabs, this is a losing fight for Bulu, or if he starts throwing down. Ooh, a Zen Headbutt. This could be enough. No, that -1 definitely makes it not enough. And a Poison Jab comes out, and this should be enough to pick up the KO on Bulu. Yes, it is. Bulu does go down. So no more grassy terrain can be set up, but There Is No God will take advantage of the little bit that is still sitting there, plus his own leftovers, or Black Sludge. And now Meltilda comes back out, takes some Snacky Pebbles damage, goes for the knockoff, gets rid of that Black Sludge, and does fat damage. There Is No God Thunder Waves it. So kind of just a last-ditch effort. He should be faster than it, but I don't know. I don't know if he can really do too much the rest of this face-off. Does he sack him? No, he switches him out and brings in Justice Goat. Understandably resists the poison and I think likes the dark attacks. Knockoff comes out. Bonk. Not very effective, but does trigger Justified, so he is now at a +1 attack, which is definitely scary. And he has leftovers. Or no, he doesn't have leftovers. He doesn't have any item anymore. And now the Grassy Terrain is gone for the rest of the battle. So Meltilda leaves because nobody really wants to face down a +1 Justice Goat. And Hadouken, actually, he wants to face down a +1. But a close combat at +1, I think that should... Oh, that does not pick up... Oh, no, it does. I guess it does pick up the KO. And drops his defenses by 1 stage. So Hadouken is gone for Hadouken. Billows comes back in. He can get a -1 on there. But after the +1, it is a even. So he is at a neutral stat level except for his defenses. So he probably switches out. Yep. He can't Volt Switch. And There Is No God comes back in. He gets the Intimidate drop on the Landorus, which and just survives the Stealth Rocks. And is caught with the Sticky Web. And gets the Intimidate off. A whole lot of things happening on that come-in. So Earthquake comes out. It's way more than enough to pick up this KO. Especially since there's no Grassy Terrain. That's an easy kill right there. So There Is No God finally dies. He was a bit screwy this fight. He caused a bit of trouble. Billows heals a little bit. So he's over half. Low Squishy comes in. And now I think is the time when... maybe not. That's Sticky Web. I don't know if he can set up. I mean, -1 Landorus. He gets the U-turn off. It'll do a nice chunk of damage. But really just there for the pivot ability. And Meltilda comes in, who is definitely the big threat. A nice special wall, but is paralyzed. And that Tail Glow does come off. So a half speed and -1 speed. I think Low Squishy is faster. Does this pick up the KO though? Not super effective. I mean, it's stab damage. And it does not. But the Poison Jab I don't think can KO in return. No, it cannot, and it does not poison. But a Shadow Sneak, is that enough? No, not even close. But the Poison Touch does trigger, so Lil Squishy now only has 2 turns left to live. So the Surf comes out. This will be more than enough to pick up the KO. But like I said, Lil Squishy has 1 turn left, I think. Let's see if that poison damage. Yes, it has 1 turn left to take some poison damage. Wow, it does not have much HP. Billows comes out. Ooh, this is the turn. Is Billows faster than a -1 Manaphy? I believe he should be. Yes, he is. He U-turns. That will get the kill. So Lil Squishy is now dead. Kick Golem. Greg takes it back, and Mastermind can come in. The problem for him, though, is now Ian gets to pick whatever he wants to come into the Mastermind, and it is a Justice Goat, which, yeah, it's a solid pick. But can he kill it? He's been more utility than anything this game, with Volt Switch, Stealth Rocks, Close Combat. Nope, Mastermind leaves. Yeah, I guess he doesn't want to take Close Combat. Billows, though, he doesn't mind all that much. Except, ooh, Snacky Pebbles. But that Intimidate drop will definitely help him survive an attack? Maybe? No, yeah, definitely. That is nothing. Oh, yeah, I guess resisted damage at a -1. And his defenses are dropped, so he really doesn't want to stay in. Because his close combats really aren't going to do anything. He can't Volt Switch. So Robin Hoot makes his first appearance this game. The Decidueye, which I guess that was a good Pokemon to keep sitting in the back. Whew. Never ended up clearing those hazards, but he will resist this Earthquake, which still does solid damage. Gets leftovers. Yeah, this Billows has been proven to be quite a problem. With his Intimidate and his bulk, and his ability to kind of just move around. Hidden Power Ice. He should have stuck with the Earthquakes. Spirit Shackle. Will this be enough to knock out? It is not enough to get the knockout. And shows a Life Orb. I don't think he gets any priority. Oh, he has Sucker Punch. That's where his priority is. So Billows does go down, finally. And a little more damage from from Life Orb. And now Mastermind comes in. And the big question for Mastermind here, does he go for the setup and possibly die? He does. He goes for the Shell Smash. So -1 on the defense, +2 on attack, special attack, and speed. So big threat, but can he deliver on it at the -1s on defense? Will it be enough to do anything? And no, he does go down. So that will be the end of the fight. Robin Hood survives with just a tiny bit of health, but good job, Schulte. You wore him down over time and won the fight. So good battle, guys. It's another Week 10 battle. We'll see you guys next week for Week 11. Doses.